One thing about friendships, and welcome to the new 26 Rainbow Powered. I am Nirvana Sparkle, and one thing about friendships is sometimes people are into certain things or certain traditions that you're not exactly comfortable with. Last week we talked about traditions between families and how bringing two families together with two specific family traditions can often cause conflict. But building new traditions can often be the bridge that between them and between the families. This week's episode, Scare Master, taking place on Nightmare Night, quite appropriately, seeing that it is your humans' holiday of Halloween. And by the way, happy Halloween to all. Is the second episode that features the holiday, the first being Luna Eclipsed, one of my personal favorites. This talks about traditions in other ways, in a more isolated fashion. How certain people, depending on their social status or structure, determine to spend the holiday. Some, like today, will go out in full costume and cosplay and trick or treat their eyes out, while others will stay politely at home and greet other trick or treaters, like what my mom will do for a little bit. And then I get the candy leftovers. But by and large, we all have our own traditions. And sometimes our friends do things that we are not emotionally comfortable with. This is the case here. Fluttershy is not a big fan of Nightmare Night, as one would suspect. After all, she's timid about her own shadow. She usually stays under the bed with her animals protected. But thanks to a food emergency by Angel, she is dragged out to witness Nightmare Night in full bloom for the first time. Now, keep in mind, the entire town of Ponyville is completely in Nightmare Night mode. Costumes, great animations, all the things you would expect, including the Apple Family Corn Maze. And trust me, there are corn mazes all around the country, and it's one of the best ways to set up a haunted house. Trust me, I used to live in what you Americans would consider the South. But Fluttershy gives it the old college try, tries tries to have fun with her friends on Nightmare Night in their more traditional way. With costumes, scary stories, and of course the aforementioned corn maze. But when when our paranoia fear of being hurt or scared takes away the fun of the annual events, everything seems lost until Angel actually up with a clever idea to improve the maze at the end with some classic and well timed scares. But even appearing as Flutterbat for the third time in costume, she still doesn't feel comfortable with it. And that sometimes happens in friendships. There are things, traditions, and ways of life that we are often not comfortable with and will never be comfortable with. Although It is nice to spend a tradition with friends and holiday with friends the way they do it. Some traditions just don't fly in some people's faces. Sometimes, no matter how much you want to adapt and be part of the fun, you just can't emotionally do it. There are some things in life, even with friendship, that can't be fixed. Some problems or some uncomfortableness that can't be resolved. And some people can liken it up to Fluttershy's social anxiety, which is true, but she was not comfortable the entire night. And sometimes not being comfortable means you are not having fun. You should always take into consideration what is comfortable, what is okay. Know that there are no borders unless there are ones put up. Friendship can be a difficult thing, around the holidays especially. We all want to have fun together. But sometimes other people's definitions of fun are not your definitions of fun, and accepting that can be okay. Even if for one shining moment you shared in the fun and everybody was having fun. Now, I would be remiss without pointing out that this episode was leaked on the internet. And for all you ponies that have watched this episode before this review, shame on you! If I could, I would haunt every one of your houses. But by and large, the lesson is a good lesson to teach. The animations are great. Although Rainbow Dash being, how would you say it, a douchebag is a total letdown. But every character is done well, and the costumes actually look nice. Points to my waifu for best costume. Look fine as a Spartan, honey. Honey, I would love to give you a sword and shield. Shield to fit the ensemble. References to previous episodes also abound, even a continuity nod to Philly Vanilli in the early going. This is a fine all-day episode for kids teaching a fine lesson on comfortability. Sometimes the scariest things in life, and sometimes to get over the scares, sometimes it's just fine to curl up under the bed and read a book. Enjoying a holiday is enjoying a holiday. How you spend it is your own choice. Sometimes acceptance is the answer, much like most things in life. Have a happy Halloween. Eat as much candy as you please. And enjoy the frights tonight. Find peace in your own nirvana. The truth is close. But there's even one thing even more scary than this. The second Twilight film.